Luiz Inacio Lula da Silva has won the Brazilian election, beating Jair Bolsonaro by a razor-thin margin. But what do we know about the man they simply call Lula? Well, Lula was born into poverty, actually. He became a shoeshine boy. He then moved into factories before working in the trade union movement. And they very much supported his bids to become president, although he did actually fail 3 presidential elections, failed to get in, that is. He then, in 2002, finally won, and he retired in 2011. A series of corruption allegations were made against him. He did actually go to prison, although the charges and the conviction was later annulled. And now, of course, he is the president, but he has a very divided country. Nearly half of it hasn't voted for him. Well, I think it's fair to say that Lula has an awful lot of issues that he does have to address. For internal consumption, I think it has to be poverty. 100 million people live in poverty. 33 million people or so are thought to be basically on the verge of starvation. So he's promising to address all of that. He says he's going to actually end poverty. He's going to increase housing for people, increase education, make the health service better. Big problem, though, is that so far there's no details about how it's going to be paid. Absolutely none, in fact, in any detail at all. So that is something, though, that he has promised to address, and of course it's incredibly popular here with those who voted for him. The other one, which is also popular for those people here and abroad, is saving the Amazon rainforest. He's going to change the laws that Bolsonaro has put in place and replace the institutions that Bolsonaro basically broke down that support the Amazon. But there's a lot of work to be done there. He says, though, it's going to start straight away.
Vamos retomar o monitoramento e a vigilância da Amazônia e combater toda e qualquer atividade ilegal, seja garimpo, mineração, extração de madeira ou ocupação agropecuária indevida. Ao mesmo tempo, vamos promover o desenvolvimento sustentável das comunidades que vivem na região amazônica. Vamos provar mais uma vez que é possível gerar riqueza sem destruir o meio ambiente.
Well, it's interesting internationally. Leaders all around the world have been pretty much falling over themselves to congratulate Lula. I think there's a reason for that. I mean, a lot of them know him. Barack Obama once described him as the most popular politician in the world, and I think a lot of them think that he probably can actually become a sort of populist that you can do business with. I think also one shouldn't doubt a simple fact that many of them are quite happy to see the back of Bolsonaro, and actually almost anyone would be better than him and the way he ran government here. So I think on the international stage he will be popular. Obviously, the big thing that people look for amongst the international community is the protection of the environment generally, but obviously the Amazon rainforest specifically. He's already saying that he's going to change Bolsonaro's tactics of exploitation there, and that he intends to protect the forests and to stop the huge amount of deforesting that's taken place. It's increased every year that Bolsonaro has been in office. That, I think, is the one big issue that will make him extremely popular with the international community. When Lula retired from office, he had 80% approval ratings in this country, and for many of the people here, he is almost seen almost like a religious figure. He's hugely popular in South America as well, so he is an amazingly popular leader amongst some. Obviously, there's others who really dislike him. I think the major differences between his type of government, which will be more ordered and probably a bit more mild-mannered, is that it will be starkly different to the anarchic, chaotic, aggressive and divisive way that President Bolsonaro ran this country. It was actually chaotic on all sorts of levels, and he did his best to break down an awful lot of the institutions here, the institutions that look after the rainforest, the institutions of law and order as well. And so I think the big change will be is a calming down and perhaps a more measured response, and a much greater sense of trying to represent all the people of the country, not perhaps just the richest.
O Brasil é a minha causa. O povo é a minha causa e combater a miséria é a razão pela qual eu vou viver até o fim da minha vida.